Let me ask you something right off the bat. Are you actively fueling your body's fundamental building blocks? Or are you unknowingly depriving yourself of the exact material that keeps you moving, healing, and even thinking clearly? It's a question we rarely stop to ask ourselves, at least not until our bodies literally force us to pay attention. Welcome, everyone. In today's explainer, we are embarking on a pretty fascinating investigative journey. We're going to put on our medical detective hats to uncover the hidden signs and the stark clinical realities of protein deficiency. And look, this isn't just about building muscle in the gym. We're talking about the core functionality and the baseline survival mechanisms of your entire body. So, here is our game plan for today. 1. Signs of protein deficiency. 2. Diagnosing hidden malnutrition. 3. Muscle loss and aging. 4. Fueling the healing process. And 5. Optimizing your protein intake. All right, let's jump right into section 1, signs of protein deficiency. We've all been there, right? You might brush off a sudden wave of weakness, persistent fatigue, or maybe a really aggressive afternoon carb craving as just, having a bad day. But honestly, these are often early warning signs of disrupted body processes. When your body is starved of amino acids, it seriously struggles to maintain stable blood sugar, to synthesize the neurotransmitters you need for a clear mind, or even to produce the antibodies required to fight off frequent illnesses. To really understand why things like brittle nails or sudden hair loss happen, we have to look at how the body manages a protein crisis. Your body is an incredible, albeit totally ruthless, survivor. It's basically doing triage. It actively cuts off supply lines to what it considers non-essential tissues, fiercely prioritizing vital survival operations like your brain and your heart, over keeping your hair thick and your nails strong. Now, in severe cases, this lack of protein fundamentally breaks down the body's entire fluid management system, leading to a condition known as kwashiorkor. Without enough of a specific protein called albumin, which basically acts like a giant sponge to hold fluid safely inside your blood vessels, fluid just leaks right out into the surrounding tissues. This causes visible, heavy swelling, or edema, typically in the legs and hands. Moving right along to section 2, diagnosing hidden malnutrition. So, how do doctors actually solve a complex malnutrition case? Well, they use something called the GLIM framework. It works by combining phenotypic clues, like measuring a patient's unintentional weight loss or reduced muscle mass, with etiologic criteria, like documenting a drop in food intake or the presence of a severe inflammatory disease burden. When medical professionals go looking for hidden laboratory clues, they analyze specific biomarkers. Take a look at these numbers. A marker like prealbumin reacts to dietary changes in just 2 days. That makes it highly sensitive to recent shifts. But albumin, which is a super common marker, takes about 21 days to turn over. So your albumin levels might look perfectly fine today, even if your body has been severely undernourished for the entire past week. And here is the crucial point to take away. Diagnosing protein deficiency requires real, hands-on medical detective work. Why? Because there's literally no single universally accepted blood test for it. Everyday factors like a patient's hydration levels or underlying acute inflammation can easily mask the truth and throw the blood work completely off. Okay, let's dive into section 3, muscle loss and aging. Notice this massive jump in requirements here? The standard recommended dietary allowance for protein is 0.08 grams per kilogram of body weight. But for the elderly community, experts now state that the requirement jumps significantly. We're talking somewhere between 1.2 and 1.5 grams per kilogram. So why the huge increase? It boils down to a physiological condition known as anabolic resistance. As we age, our bodies actually develop a blunted response to protein, along with a decreased sensitivity to amino acid absorption. This basically means older adults need significantly more fast-digesting protein just to trigger the exact same muscle protein synthesis that a younger person gets from a much, much smaller meal. And the academic research confirms this exact phenomenon. If you want to combat sarcopenia, which is that age-related loss of skeletal muscle mass, you absolutely cannot just hope for the best. It requires an aggressively active lifestyle paired directly with a high-protein diet. Without those two factors working together, the muscle tissue simply degrades over time. Let's shift gears to section 4, fueling the healing process. Now, when you undergo physical trauma or develop a severe wound, your metabolic rate skyrockets. If your body loses 30% of its lean mass during this highly stressful time, It is directly associated with stagnant wound healing, the spontaneous development of pressure ulcers, and a terrifying 50% mortality rate. A critical lack of protein can drastically and very dangerously derail your entire recovery. But hey, remember, protein doesn't work alone. It needs a powerful supporting cast of micronutrients to actually heal that tissue. Vitamin C stabilizes collagen. Vitamin A restores structures. Vitamin D steps in to fight inflammation, while vitamin E protects those incredibly vulnerable new tissues from serious infections like MRSA. You absolutely need the whole team on the field to rebuild. Okay, this is probably the most intense part of the healing process. If you are injured and you don't eat enough dietary protein, your body still demands those building blocks. To survive, it will literally cannibalize its own skeletal muscle. Think about that. It will break down your arms and your legs just to find the amino acids required to heal that critical wound. Finally, let's bring it all home with Section 5, Optimizing Your Protein Intake. The truly fantastic news here is that preventing deficiency is straightforward, and honestly, it's delicious. There is a massive variety of protein-rich whole foods available to us. From high-quality animal proteins to fantastic plant-based sources, proactively incorporating these into your daily routine is the single most positive step you can take for your long-term health. And reaching those optimal daily targets is so much easier than you might think. Just 3 ounces of beef or a single cup of Greek yogurt delivers a whopping 24 grams of protein. Salmon gives you 22 grams. And if you're looking for plant-based options, just 1 cup of cooked lentils provides a solid 17 grams. Mixing and matching these every day, gram-for-gram heavy hitters, makes meal planning incredibly easy. So here is your highly actionable game plan. Step 1, include a high-protein food at every single meal. Step 2, spread your intake out evenly throughout the day. Seriously, don't eat a tiny breakfast and then try to cram 60 grams of protein into dinner. The clinical data clearly shows your body absorbs and utilizes it best when it's spread out, aiming for at least 20 grams per main meal. And step 3, actively incorporate plant-based options like lentils and beans to make sure you're getting all those necessary supporting micronutrients we talked about earlier. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want to leave you with a challenge. Take a close look at your very next meal today. Is it deliberately built to protect your muscles as you age, to actively heal your body, and to power your mind? Take the medical detective work you've learned today and put it right onto your plate. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive, and I'll see you on the next explainer.